story reaches across time, weaving together the lives of 4 artists searching for art, family, and a place to belong. You'll be captivated by this profound exploration of Catch Creation at Theatre in the Round now through February 8th. Tickets at theatereintheround.org.
With your AM 950 weather, this is Adam. -4 and partly sunny today. Tonight, -18. And for tomorrow, on the positive side, a high of 2. Looking for a colorful, high-energy indoor experience for your kids this winter? Go Dog Go. Ve Pero Ve opens this week at Children's Theater Company. Get tickets today for this joyful bilingual musical where delightful dogs drive, swim, play baseball, and race to the big dog party. That's childrenstheater.org.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Living Healthy and Aging Well. My name is Ken Haglind, and we are broadcasting from the AM 950 radio station that overlooks Bryant Lake Regional Park, located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. It's another wonderful day here in the Twin Cities, and I am so grateful to be here with you today, and I hope all of you listening are doing well. We are on the air every Saturday from noon to 1 to talk about your health and your life. We cover a wide range of topics to help you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me in a few minutes will be Jared Bostrom. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Progress Valley, Amber Michalski, Chief Operating Officer, and Jamie Steber, Director of Facilities and Housing, and a proud Progress Valley alum, along with Michaela Heacock, Director of Advancement. Together, they'll share insights into the impactful work of Progress Valley, a nonprofit substance use and co-occurring treatment provider serving the Twin Cities for over 53 years. Jamie will also share her inspiring recovery journey and how Progress Valley's programs and support shaped her life, offering a firsthand perspective on the organization's mission of hope and healing, where recovery becomes reality. Progress Valley provides a wide range of services, including residential and non-residential treatment for adults ages 18 and older, as well as mental health services for individuals ages 16 and up. In addition to clinical care, Progress Valley offers affordable self-pay housing options, helping individuals maintain stability and independence throughout their recovery journey. As Progress Valley continues to grow, its commitment to individualized care and community support remains strong. And we're going to hear about Jamie's story today and learn more about how Progress Valley is expanding its continuum of behavioral health services to foster recovery, purpose, and meaningful living. So you'll enjoy listening to my conversation today with the folks from Progress Valley. I want to thank all of you that leave us messages on our radio show phone line. We appreciate hearing from you, and we welcome your comments, questions, and, of course, topics for future shows. Also, if you are interested in being a guest on our radio show, please call or text us at 612-999-3426. You can also contact us on our website at livinghealthyradio.com. There you can find information about upcoming guests, as well as listen to our previous shows. We look forward to hearing from you. We are adding new listeners to the show each week, not only here in the Twin Cities of Minnesota, but also throughout the country. You can find podcasts for all of our radio shows on the AM 950 radio website, and we can also be found on your favorite streaming services, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also watch our broadcast live on the radio station's Facebook page at AM 950 Radio. If you have a question for us today, there's 2 ways to reach us. First, by calling the AM 950 radio station, and our friendly show producer, Adam, will get your call on the air. Our phone number is 952-946-6205. Once again, 952-946-6205. Or you can text us your questions at 612-999-3426. Now, don't worry. If you missed our contact numbers, I'll repeat them throughout the show. All right. I would like to welcome our guests for today's show. We've got Jared Bostrom, Amber Michalski, Jamie Steber, and Michaela Heacock. And we're going to be doing a little trade-off here later on in the show. We're going to switch out, put somebody on and take somebody off. But before we begin our conversation with them, Jared, why don't you lead us off and maybe talk about your background and then how you ended up getting to Progress Valley?
Yeah. Thank you. Well, Ken, thank you so much for having us on the show again. I want to thank all the PV folks for being here, but especially Jamie for sharing her story with the listeners today. Professionally, I'm the CEO of Progress Valley. My background is clinical, so I've worked about 22 years in behavioral health, doing a wide range of different things, and kind of moved from direct practice up into clinical leadership and eventually organizational leadership. And I've been with Progress Valley for about 8 years. Personally, I always knew that I wanted to work with and help people somehow. On a personal level, I've also been helped by professionals with difficulties around substance use and mental health and other life challenges that I've had. And, that help was life-changing for me. And the opportunity to be a part of life-changing help for someone else is just a tremendous honor. It's a wonderful way to spend your time, I think, on this earth. So, and we get to hear one example of a story like that today.
Yes, that's fantastic. All right. Amber, give us some background with you.
Yes, I'm Amber Michalski. I'm the COO at Progress Valley. I've been there for about 7.5 years. And I was brought on by Jared. So, previous, previous supervisor at a different job. So, I've been in human services for like 25 years. But similar to Jared, just got brought to the SUD and mental health field by personal experience and really wanting to be a part of change. So and I love the work we do.
Doesn't it bring so much joy to you to know that you're making a direct impact on people?
Yes,
it really does.
My day job, I feel the same way about that. Just I can't do anything else. This is all I can do. Once you find that sweet spot in life. Fantastic. Well, thank you very much. Jamie.
Yes.
Give us a little bit.
Thank you for having me, Ken.
Oh, this is great.
So
your first time on the show.
Yes, my first time on the show. I've been with Progress Valley for going on 7 years now in May. But no, originally it started as a client back in 2017. And to be able to come back and work there means so much to me. And just like Jared said, bottom line is I just want to help people and I just want to see them, do better.
Right.
And that's what it all comes down to, is helping others.
It's kind of a simple formula, but we
Very
make
simple.
it so complicated, and
We do.
it's you're in a great field. All right. Well, Amber, I know we want to talk about some of the services that you guys have. I know you're adding new services. I mean, it's amazing. You've been doing this for 53 years, one of the longest running organizations I've had on the show. I know I did have a funeral home that is 153 years or 152
wow.
We're not
years.
quite there.
No. Again, you got a long runway ahead of you. But it's amazing, just the longevity of some of these organizations, especially, in the Twin Cities. We have the largest per capita of nonprofits anywhere in the country. So we're just a very generous, very, very, very selfish, I think, selfless society here in Minnesota. We got a lot of great people. And so all the work you guys are doing is just fantastic. We'll talk about some of the things that you guys are doing, your new things you're doing.
Yeah, so Jared can start by talking a little bit about what we currently do, and then I can move into the new stuff that we're looking at.
Fantastic.
Yeah, just a little brief background about us. If you're not aware, we are coming into our 54th year here. So long history. We had a very interesting kind of niche, and we're born out of a pretty desperate need at the time for a second phase of treatment options besides the traditional 28 to 30 day, residential stay that people were doing for substance use disorders back then. There really wasn't much else. And Progress Valley was arguably the first kind of phase 2, where people could have support around both living, employment, continued recovery, peer support, all of those things. I'll add that Opus Design and Build was actually our founder. So it was a Round Horse Construction at that time, but the owners of that, Jerry and Henrietta Roundhorst, started this with executives on his team. So very generous. They gave both time and money to a lot of philanthropic causes, in addition to Progress Valley. So we're always grateful for them, and they still stayed connected with us in some ways. So we just really appreciate that. We've grown and changed a lot over the years, although we still stick to kind of our initial value and design to help people throughout all the stages of recovery, not just the first. And that's one of the things we've really done, especially in the last 8 years, is expanding our continuum of care and also integrated behavioral health care. So doing a lot more with mental health, co-occurring disorders. We've done that long before 8 years ago, but we've taken some other bigger steps to expand that. So yeah, we have a pretty full continuum of all the way up from high intensity residential, intensive outpatient, down to continuing care, affordable housing. We have mental health clinics now, also substance use and mental health assessments.
Wow, what an amazing organization.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a mouthful to run through all those different services. Do you have someone that can, if someone calls in and said, boy, here's where I'm at, or here's my loved one or my family, is there like a navigator or somebody that can help kind of sort through what that next step would look like?
Yeah, so we have our central access team, and they can be reached at 952-956-3100. And they'll help anybody navigate the system.
Yeah.
So even if they're not necessarily seeking treatment with us, or if they're like, oh, I just don't know what to do now, that's where they can just reach out and have conversations with us, and we're more than happy to help.
All right, let's do this. The music's cueing us out.
Yeah.
We'll come back with you too. I want to talk about the new services that you guys have. It's time for a short break, folks. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Jared Bostrom, Amber Michalski, Jamie Steber, and we're going to talk more about the amazing care and services that Progress Valley offers. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Rebuilding Together Minnesota delivers critical home repairs and safety modifications to low-income Minnesotans, because everyone deserves a safe place to live, not just those who can afford it. If you've been putting off repairs because the cost feels impossible, know this: their services come at no cost to homeowners. They focus on safe and healthy home solutions that keep older adults independent, support families, and strengthen entire neighborhoods. And there's no catch. Apply during their application window, open January 1st through March 31st, 2026, to be considered for services. When one neighbor struggles, it impacts us all. Turn to Rebuilding Together Minnesota if you need support with critical repairs or safety modifications on your home. Apply now at rtmn.org and select Apply for help. Or call 651-776-4273. Rebuilding Together Minnesota, where neighbors help neighbors.
Crooners is a classic supper club with a wide range of entertainment. Make your reservations for a parade of international, national, and local artists in the main stage showroom, the intimate Dunsmore Jazz Room, or outdoors at the seasonal Belvedere Under the Stars space. Or enjoy Maggie's Piano Lounge. Enjoy 4-star food and drinks with first-class supper club service. What are you waiting for? Go to croonersmn.com for more information and schedule. That's croonersmn.com.
Did you just look down at your phone? You did it again, didn't you? You know, you're flying down the road in a 3-ton hunk of steel, and a text takes your eyes off the road for an average of 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's long enough to travel the length of a football field and cause some serious damage. Turn it off. Trust me, whatever it is, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. Pretty much everybody I talk to is ready to leave 2025 behind, so what better way to do that than quite literally have Zero Res come over and clean that 2025 dirt out of the house. Pretty much any surface in your home can be Zero Resified, from carpets, tile, rugs, upholstery, hardwood, and so much more. Zero Res can take care of it all, so it's time to call the cleaning pros. Start your freshest year yet in 2026 with Zero Res's biggest sale ever in celebration of the new year, and wash 2025 right out of your home with this deal. This month you can get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $119 and a free hallway, plus 15% off regularly priced services like air ducts, upholstery, area rugs, tile, hardwood, and more. Call 9520-RES or go to ZeroResMinnesota.com and ask for the AM 950 special. Backward or forward spells the same. Zero Res.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today is Jared Bostrom, Chief Executive Officer of Progress Valley, Amber Michalski, Chief Operating Officer, and Jamie Steber, Director of Facilities and Housing, and also a proud Progress Valley alum. And together they are sharing insights into the impactful work of Progress Valley, a nonprofit substance use and co-occurring treatment provider serving the Twin Cities for over 53 years. All right, Amber, how can our listeners contact you or your organization here, and if they have questions or want more information?
Yes, you can always reach us at 952-956-3100, and that will take you straight to our central access team who can help you, or they can go to our website, progressvalley.org. And that's where you'll find out about new services, new things that we have coming up. One of the things we're really excited about right now is we're starting a virtual outpatient treatment track that will start February 9th. So if anybody out there is in need, they can give us a call and we can get them started on that. We're also, further expanding SUD and mental health services quite a bit. Hopefully looking at some new locations, looking at some new service lines. And in the very near future, we will be adding psychiatry to our mental health clinic. So super excited about that as well. And like I said, as we get things solidified on timelines, we will have that posted on our website.
Oh, fantastic. I see on the header there,
Yes.
it does say new service offering.
Yes.
So folks, if you are interested in learning more about all the things that Progress Valley has, progressvalley.org is their website, and it's a very nice looking website with a lot of information. So is there certain criteria that people would need to meet in order to be able to enroll in your virtual outpatient new services here?
Yeah, so just anybody that would qualify for substance use treatment would qualify. We can expand our reach into rural areas for sure. So, people that have things going during the day, this is a good opportunity for them to be able to hop onto some treatment.
Well, we're very fortunate in the Twin Cities to have a lot of access.
Exactly.
But then you get to the greater Minnesota and the outstate,
Yeah.
and things tend to be thinner in terms of resources. So what a great way to connect people throughout the state of Minnesota.
Yeah.
I would just add quickly that we can, if people aren't sure, we can perform assessments to help people determine their need, whether or not they, meet criteria for a substance use disorder, and help get them placed in a program, whether it's ours or somewhere else.
Yeah. No, that's a great idea, because I know people, I'm sure, get calls and text after how do I, what's the criteria and how do I, what's the next step? And so one of the keys is, again, go to the website and call the phone number.
Yep.
And that phone is answered during the week, Monday through Friday, certain times.
Yep. Usually about 8 to 5.
Okay.
And then there's a voicemail that they can leave messages.
Do you guys
as well.
have an online? Can you register or
Yes.
an email or is
Yep.
there other things? Sometimes people are easier, better at doing things.
Yep. So you can schedule assessments right online.
Okay.
You can also submit inquiries and things like that on there as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's under on Contact Us.
Yep.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Very similar to most websites. All right. Sounds great. All right. Well, I'm really looking forward to talking to you, Jamie, and Jamie Steber, and we'll make sure we get a chance to start your story here. We got about 3.5 minutes left this segment, so if you could just start and tell us about yourself.
Well, like I said, I am a Progress Valley alumni. My first experience with Progress Valley was back in 2017 as a client. August 1st, 2017 is my clean date. And after using drugs and alcohol for 23 years and at the age of 37, with the help of Washington County Corrections and Progress Valley, I was able to find a better way to live. So I'm really excited to share my story.
Yes. Well, let's get into it.
All
We
right.
got 3 minutes here in this segment, then we'll
All right.
we'll roll into the next segment, and
Let's get
yeah,
going.
you just the microphone is yours.
All right. So growing up, I did have 2 loving parents. They did get divorced when I was 3. I saw my dad on a very regular basis. I'm the youngest of 4 daughters for him. I have 3 older half sisters from his first marriage. My mom, the sweetest, loving, caring woman you'd ever meet. I'm her only child. She was a great mother. Always played with me, arts and crafts, Barbies. She always had me involved with things. She was wonderful. My stepdad came into my life when I was 8, and he's been in my life ever since. So I am lucky enough to have 3 parents. That's how I look at it. I did average in school and I had friends. I was a competitive figure skater until I was 14, and I also had horses. And even though I had friends and I was involved in activities, being an only child can be extremely lonely, and I was often alone. And I never felt like any of my friends truly understood me. From the time I was a little girl, I can remember the feeling of emptiness. Something was missing. And even though, being so young, I didn't know exactly what that feeling was, but I carried it with me through my whole entire life. Like I said, my mom was a wonderful mom, but there was 3 things she was not good at: giving me responsibility, holding me accountable, and telling me no. As I got older, I do believe this created a lot of issues in my mom and my stepdad's relationship, because he did want to give me rules and he did want to hold me accountable. Eventually, I think it was the summer going into 7th grade, they decided to split up, and my mom and I would move to Bloomington. That's where my grandparents lived, where my mom went to high school. Some of my other family members lived there, and I was so excited because the Bloomington Ice Garden was there. So most of my younger years of skating, I would go from St. Paul to Golden Valley, really early mornings, really long days, especially in the summer. So I was so excited to be moving right down the street from the Ice Garden. And things went well for about the first year there, and then things quickly changed. So when I was 14, that's when I started experimenting with drugs and alcohol. And I quickly figured out that being intoxicated kind of made that loneliness feeling go away. And that's when my relationship with drugs and alcohol would begin. My first inpatient was at 16 at Hazelton. And I would go through 6 more treatment stays with short periods of sobriety over the next 22 years. In my 20s, it was alcohol and cocaine. And in my 30s, it was methamphetamine. And once that methamphetamine took over, it had its grip. Now, fast forward 22 years, I have 2 daughters, 2 failed relationships with their dads. I've been using meth daily, IV, for 6 years. I've been back living with my parents. They've been basically doing everything for me and my children. Couldn't hold a job. I did have a few cool jobs, but I was not able to hold them. And my parents, they were sick and tired of me. They were pretty much raising my youngest daughter, Ashlyn, at this point, and my oldest daughter, Cameron, really didn't like me anymore, and she really didn't want to have much to do with me.
Well, let's do this. Let's continue your story right after the break. All right? All right, folks, it's time for a short break. We'll be right back to continue our conversation with Jared Bostrom, Amber Michalski, and Jamie Steber. If you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-950-1019. 946-6205 or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
Hi, I'm Mary T. Caring for others runs deep in my family. My grandmother, Rosa, was a nurse who cared for people in their homes more than a century ago. Inspired by her compassion, my mother, Margaret, and I founded the Mary T. family of companies nearly 50 years ago. Today, we continue that legacy across Minnesota, Wisconsin, Maryland, and Arizona, providing senior living, assisted living with memory care, home health, hospice care, rental housing, and support for people with disabilities. Each service is personal, creative, and focuses on the unique needs of those we serve. We also believe in joy and community, which is why we opened Crooner Supper Club in Fridley, a place to celebrate life with music, laughter, and connection. At Mary T., we're proud to be a Minnesota family company rooted in compassion, inclusion, and respect, and proud supporters of AM 950 and the values that this station represents. Visit MaryTinc.com to learn more.
Congratulations to Mary T., named one of the most admired CEOs of 2026 by the Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal.
Hi, this is Frank Brown of Minuteman Press Uptown with a question for our listeners. How important are business values to you? When you need high-quality digital print, it matters who you work with. You see, Minuteman Uptown is unique. We're one of the only union print shops in Minnesota, providing our team with living wages and benefits. We believe in second chances for justice-impacted individuals who want to contribute to the community, and we are active in local issues. We've been in the streets standing up for racial, social, and economic justice. At Minuteman Uptown, our mission is to connect all communities through technology-driven print solutions. An example of that mission is when I moved Minuteman Uptown to North Minneapolis. We're invested in this local community, and we help small businesses and local organizations throughout the Twin Cities reach their audiences. Reach out to Minuteman Uptown and partner with a printer that shares your values. Call us today at 612-870-0777 or visit us at mpuptown.com. That's mpuptown.com.
At Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, our job is to help you find a place for fire. Our displays include over 180 models in diverse styles, and we have over 35 burning displays. Come and experience the glow and warmth of a live fire.
Some say there are only two seasons in Minnesota: road construction and winter. Hi, this is Laura, and I agree there are two seasons in Minnesota: summer and fireplace season. I bought my wood stove for Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces in 2005, and every season after summer comes the time when we fire up the wood stove, get out our favorite music, and discover the warmth of fire. Our dog Pumpkin remembers the fire too. He stations himself right there, legs up in the air, just enjoying the warmth of the fire. With the wood stove, we are able to keep the main area of the house toasty warm, while the thermostat is set at an energy efficient 64 degrees. Discover your fireplace season. Visit Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces today.
Woodland Stoves and Fireplaces, out of the ordinary products and services since 1977.
With your AM 950 weather, this is Adam. -4 under partly sunny skies today. -18 for your low tonight. And tomorrow we will be 2 above 0. Great Wall Restaurant, specializing in Szechuan and Peking Mandarin cuisine, has menu favorites such as hot and sour soup, pan-fried dumplings, sesame chicken, and so much more. Conveniently located at 4515 France Avenue South at the intersection of West 45th Street and France Avenue. For takeout, call 952-927-4439.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Saturday.
Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. My name is Ken Haglind, and joining me today in the main studio at AM 950 is Jared Bostrom. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Progress Valley. We have Amber Michalski, Chief Operating Officer of Progress Valley. And here is Jamie Steber, first time here on the show, Director of Facilities and Housing and a proud Progress Valley alum. And we're going to continue her story in this segment. But first, we're going to let Amber tell us how to get a hold of their organization if people have questions or want more information.
Yeah, you can give us a call at 952-956-3100 or check us out online at progressvalley.org.
All right, fantastic. All right, Jamie, you started to share with us this last segment about your story from the time you were a child and progressing through your adulthood. Would you mind picking up where you left off?
Absolutely. So, again, I had been living with my parents for some time. My oldest daughter, Cameron, really didn't like me anymore, and she really didn't want to have much to do with me, and I didn't blame her. I hadn't been raising her for the last 6 years. Her dad and her stepmom were. I could not get my act together for her. I missed out on all of those important years. And even though it was probably still better than being with me, it wasn't good. Not only did Cameron have a mother who had alcohol and drug problems, but so did her dad. And when he drank, he was very angry. And her stepmother, who I'm so grateful for, had her own mental health struggles and use issues. So there was a lot of chaos in the house. Cameron didn't get to have a peaceful childhood where she felt safe. All three of her parents were so unpredictable. In June of 2016, the man I'd been dating for 2 years, someone who was very dangerous and violent, someone I really had no business even being associated with, let alone being in a relationship with, beat the living daylights out of me. No, it was not the first time. It was one of many, but this time it was the worst, and it was the scariest day of my life because I did think I was going to die. And even with the house surrounded by police, he wouldn't let me out. The police came in with force, guns drawn. I was hospitalized for 3 days. I had a concussion, 2 black eyes, broken nose, five broken ribs, punctured lung, internal bleeding, and a chest tube. I was at the hospital for 3 days, and I was completely alone. The only person who came to see me was the investigator. My parents were at a point where they just couldn't do it anymore. You know, I had to call them and tell them what had happened, and my stepdad said, "Let me know when they're going to let you out, and I'll come pick you up." He was still working full time. They were taking care of my daughter. That's what their main focus was. Physically recovering from all of my injuries was painful, but especially 5 broken ribs is horrendous. I couldn't do anything without being in pain. I couldn't cry. I couldn't cough. I couldn't sneeze. I couldn't pick up Ashlyn for almost 6 weeks. But I made it through, and I would recover physically. But when it came to emotional healing, I couldn't do it. I stayed sober for 2 months and then was right back at it. At this point, though, I was just using to get through the day. I was miserable. And for the next 12 months, I would just exist. I refused to get any kind of help for the abuse I had gone through for those 2 years. I was in the deepest and darkest depression I had ever been in, and the despair I felt was so great. And for the first time in my life, I could not pick myself back up. Probation was getting tired of me because I kept providing dirty ways over and over and over again. I did attempt 2 treatment stays the summer of 2017, and I left both times. I'd never absconded from treatment before. I'd been to treatment 6 times. I'd put myself there each time, and I completed successfully. Now I couldn't even do that. Finally, July 31st, 2017, I had court in Washington County Probation locked me up, and I was on my way to prison. This was the best thing that ever happened to me. Finally, someone was truly holding me accountable, and they were saving my life at the same time. On day 2 of being in jail, I realized that not only was I letting everyone down once again by being in jail, but I wasn't going to be able to bring Karen to her first concert for her birthday. And this was something that we had looked forward to for so long. Again, she really didn't want to have anything to do with me at this point, and this was like such a big deal to me to be able to bring her. And I let her down again, and I knew she was never going to forget it. I felt so shameful. I couldn't do it anymore, and for the first time in a long time, I spoke to God with an open and honest heart. I asked for his forgiveness, and I asked for his help, and I meant it. I wanted to be free, and I wanted to stop hurting the people that I loved the most and the 2 people that needed me the most, my girls. I told God that I was going to accept whatever help he was going to send me, and that I was ready to change my life, whether that was prison, sitting in county jail, or going to treatment. I surrendered. 2 days later, God answered. And a lady by the name of Tammy Schmitz came down to talk to me and offered me a spot in the Washington County Offender Recovery Program, which is their drug program. It was a 14 to 24-month program. If I completed this, I wouldn't be going to prison. My charges would be a stay of adjudication, and I could possibly change my life. She said, but you have to start by going to treatment. And I said, absolutely, I want this opportunity. And I said, I've been talking to a lady by the name of Kim Miller-Marks. She's at Progress Valley. She has my assessment, and that's where I want to go. It's a 90-day program. They step you down. You start as a high intensity residential, and then eventually you get to work, and you get to go on passes, and you get to have free time. And that was the exact type of treatment program that I needed. I'd never been to a program like that before. I had my phone interview with Kim, and she told me I was approved. And 6 days later, I was furloughed from Washington County to Progress Valley. And that's where my new life would begin. When I got to PV, everyone was so warm and welcoming, and I really felt like they knew what they were doing and they knew what they were talking about. I was looking forward to this much needed 90 days to truly start to heal and clear my mind and start to learn how to change my behaviors. The groups were amazing. A lot of information I had not heard before, and a lot of information I had heard before, but this time I heard it differently. The trauma and process groups would allow me to start sharing in a safe space, and I quickly learned I was not alone. The support and sense of connection I felt from the other women I was in treatment with was something I had not felt before. I needed those women, and they needed me. We had schedules and responsibilities. We had house chores. It was expected that your bed would be made daily and your room clean. We could have our phones there, which was great to have because a lot of places you couldn't, but there was rules. So if you broke rules, your phone could be taken away, or you wouldn't be able to go out on your free time passes. And if there was enough of us in the house that hadn't followed the rules that week, then the entire house would be put on restriction. It taught us to be accountable for ourselves and others and respect others. Once you got to junior or senior peer, you could leave on pass for a number of hours during the day and start working. I started working at the Salvation Army in Bloomington, making like $8 an hour, but it was fabulous. I would go spend the time on the weekends with my kids and my parents. I was able to bring Ashlyn to kindergarten that first day. Progress Valley allowed me to leave and bring her to kindergarten. It was a huge deal. Like I said, you could get a job and start working while you're in treatment and attend the evening groups. It was fantastic to be able to have the safety net of treatment while getting out in the real world again. And we also had so much fun. We had fun Fridays. We had car washes. The girls' location would compete against the boys' location to try and raise money and see who can make the most. We went to the Science Museum. It was just so much fun. It was the first time that I learned I could have fun being sober. I will never forget that night going to the Science Museum. It's like a childhood memory for me almost. It was just so much fun. It really is. We were a bunch of little kids at the Science Museum. Now it came time to graduate PV, start drug court, and go to sober housing. Unfortunately, I had to be in Washington County for sober living, so I could not attend Progress Valley's sober housing at that time. And there was only 2 women's sober houses in South Washington area at that time, and they were both full, so we didn't know where I was going to go. Last minute, my counselor and I found a new sober home in Oakdale that opened up, and I said, I'll take it. Didn't even know what it looked like. I just knew Oakdale was right next to Woodbury, and that's where my parents and Ashlyn were. Let me tell you, when I got there, no one besides God himself could have orchestrated a better setup for me. Because not only was it 3 miles from my parents' house, it was literally in the neighborhood across the street from Ashlyn's elementary school where she had just started kindergarten. The bedroom I got to pick, the bedroom window looked over a marsh, and I could see her school every day right when I woke up. I felt so blessed. I got a job at Caribou Coffee making $9.50 an hour, and I absolutely loved it. That job really taught me to believe in myself and that I could do great things, even though it's a coffee shop. I mean, those baristas and sandwich makers, we work hard. It is not an easy job. And it really did give me the confidence and the structure and responsibility every day of, structure. Drug cart started, and it was intense. My first 30 days, I was on a GPS ankle monitor. I had a weekly schedule I had to turn into my probation officer every Sunday and follow that. I had UAs 3 to 4 times a week for many, many months, eventually would step down. I was attending PV's aftercare program, 12-week program.
Yep.
It was a 12-week program, so I was still doing that, which that was the program that Amber actually started, right?
Well, that was the only outpatient we had, was 2 hours a week.
Yes.
Excuse me. And then when I started, we had grown the outpatient program to be more robust, to provide a lot more care to people after they leave.
It was fantastic. And it was, I felt the sense of, pride and going every week and showing, I think, I don't remember which counselors, might have been a few different ones, but then going back and seeing the ladies too, and just seeing how everybody was doing, I really felt connected to PV from the start. So, I met with my probation and my ORP team every other week. We met with the judges every other month. I started weekly therapy and eventually started doing EMDR therapy for my PTSD and my nightmares I had from the abuse. And it really, really worked well for me. I attended NA 3 times a week. I was thriving. I needed that accountability, and it changed everything for me. I didn't see my PO as an authority. I changed it up, and she became my life coach. I made a decision that I was going to trust her and the team 100%. Molly O'Keefe. Never forget her. After that, everything just continued to fall into place. My life would just continue to improve, and a lot of things happened for me in a very short period of time. My self-respect, self-worth, and confidence was coming back. I was seeing the beauty in life again and had faith that if I put in the work, good things would happen. And I worked my butt off. My relationship with Cameron was improving. I was starting to see her on a somewhat regular schedule, and we were starting to rebuild a relationship. I got to bring her to that concert a year later. And it was amazing.
Wow. Well, let's do it. It's time for a short break. We'll be right back, folks, to finish our conversation with her about her amazing life journey. And if you have a question for us, please give us a call, 952-946-6205, or text us at 612-999-3426. I'm Ken Haglind, and you are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well.
This is Chad, owner of AM 950. I've been telling you about my friends at Snap Construction, who are arguably the most well-reviewed exterior construction company in the metro. Don't just take my word for it. Take a look at all their reviews online. Winter is the most cost-effective time of the year to complete your construction project. A majority of Minnesotans choose to have their work completed on their home in the summer when they should be enjoying the weather. As a result, the demand for labor in the summer is much higher. The most cost-effective way to improve or restore your home is in the winter due to the lower demand. Right now, Snap Construction is offering an additional 30% off of labor to the AM 950 listeners on your next construction project between now and the end of February. Call 612-333-SNAP and mention AM 950 for an additional 30% off. As always, Snap Construction stands by their work with a lifetime craftsmanship warranty. Don't wait to get a free estimate by calling 612-333-SNAP or find them online at snapconstruction.com. Financing options available.
Hi, I'm Mary T. I'm a proud supporter of AM 950 because this station shares the values that I care about most: community, connection, and making a difference. Just like AM 950, I believe in using our energies, our resources, and our voices to lift up others. That's why I started the Mary T. Scholar Program at the University of Minnesota College of Education and Human Development, providing graduate students with internships internationally. For over the past 10 years, our students have served communities in Laos, Cambodia, Nepal, India, Cameroon, and Thailand, gaining experience and helping people in ways that really make a difference. Supporting AM 950 fosters conversation, awareness, and action in our communities. It's about shared values and believing that together we can make a difference. Visit marytinc.com to learn more about the work that we do.
Winter reading, losing yourself under a blanket with the fireplace blazing away while submerging yourself in a book and trying to finish just one more page? Winter nights are the perfect time to read, and that's where Next Chapter Booksellers can help. They're independently owned and have all the bestsellers and new releases. Not sure what to get? Their friendly booksellers are great at recommendations. That's your winter reading headquarters. Next Chapter Booksellers off Snelling and Grand. More at nextchapterbooksellers.com.
Greg Bakken here. Like you, I love good, fresh, delicious food. So I want to tell you about this treasure in Roseville called Maverick's Real Roast Beef. Maverick's has the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever had. Made fresh every order. Add fries or onion rings dropped in the fryer when ordered, and you have a winning combination. Maverick's Real Roast Beef has a lot more than roast beef, so check out their website, mavericksbeef.com, or check out their restaurant on Lexington in Roseville.
All right, welcome back, everyone. You are listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about helping you and your loved ones improve and enjoy your quality of life. We're going to quickly jump right back into Jamie Steber. She's been talking about her story. And Jamie, why don't you go ahead and just continue on where you left off last segment?
All right. So, like I said, I'd been going to NA meetings on a regular basis, and I met somebody there named Adam. Wonderful man. We started dating, and a year later, we got our own place in West St. Paul, and Ashlyn moved in with us. We got engaged. I graduated drug court, and then 2019 was a pretty big year for me, Ken. I got married.
Wow.
I started working at Progress Valley as a part-time weekend CD tech at which was our all-women's Bloomington location at that time. And I fell in love with the position immediately, and I knew right away that this is where I wanted to be. And then the one thing that I'd wanted for so long happened. Cameron came to live with us. And it was, unfortunately due to circumstances that things weren't going too well at her dad's house. But again, it was like, I felt like God was talking to me again, and he told me it's time. You're ready. You're ready to be her mom again. So she came to live with us, and she's been with us ever since. PV has been by my side for all of it. Working at PV has given me the opportunity to grow and challenge myself professionally and succeed at doing it. And as the years have gone on, PV has continued to trust me and allow me to have a voice within the organization, bring ideas to the table, and make pretty big decisions. I've continued to work my way up the PV ladder from weekend part-time CD tech to lead tech to housing manager to now director of facilities and housing, where I oversee all 8 of our buildings and locations, as well as continuing to work with the clients as a housing coordinator. My experience at PV has been absolutely amazing over the last 6 going on 7 years as a staff member. I feel such a great sense of purpose and meaning working at PV and helping others. I love coming to work every day. PV means so much to me in so many ways. I honestly can't articulate what PV means to me. It has my heart. It really does in so many different ways. And I can't imagine being anywhere else. The life I have today is everything that I've ever wanted. I'm free from the chains of addiction, and that feeling of emptiness is gone. I have a loving, caring, supportive husband. He is my best friend, and I can't imagine doing any of this without him. He loves Ashlyn like she is his own, and he's a wonderful dad to her. A lot, now we're able to bring our one of the things we love to do is go on family vacations. And so I've been able to bring Cameron on a mother-daughter vacation to California for her 18th birthday. Adam's been able to bring his son, my stepson, Brennan, to Vegas for his 21st birthday. And we got to bring Cameron to Vegas together for her 21st birthday this year. Florida's up next for Ashlyn. That's where we need to go. So, but just to be able to make memories and spend time together with our family is what we love to do. My relationship with my parents is great. Unfortunately, as I got healthier, my mom got sick, and her health is failing due to Huntington's disease, which is a neurodegenerative disease. But I'm grateful that I'm healthy and of right mind today, so I'm able to be there for them and help them in any way that I can. I have a loving relationship with both of my daughters. And, luckily Ashlyn was so young when I got clean, so she doesn't really remember mom being under the influence. Cameron's been affected by it the most. But again, our relationship today is wonderful, and she can come to me with anything. And she does come to me with anything. Sometimes I don't want to know. But I've been able to be there for her through all the ups and downs, high school years, going to college for a year, realizing it wasn't her right fit, picking her up and, bringing her back. I'm just really grateful to be their mom. I have a 24-year-old stepson who I'm really proud of, finding his own way in the world, and he's doing a really great job of it. I have a wonderful small group of friends, which is a great support system. And I love And I've learned to challenge myself when I feel like I'm not doing enough. I've been the team manager for Ashland soccer team the last couple of years, and I've also served as a council member on the Washington County Opioid Settlement Council. The council members provide leadership and guidance on Washington County's opioid settlement spending. Washington County and other local governments across Minnesota received funding from the National Opioid Settlement on a payment schedule that began in 2022 and will continue through 2038. So lots of great things happening for all of the counties that have received funding from that. And I'm so grateful to be able to give back to Washington County again and be a part of something greater to myself. The room that we meet in for the council is the same room that we met in for drug court. So It's another reminder of where I came from and where I'm going. And the last few words that I'd like to say to the listeners, if there's somebody who's personally struggling with addiction, or if you have a loved one struggling from addiction or alcoholism, you can't do it alone. You need support and you need help. And what I like to tell my clients is, it doesn't matter how many times you've been to treatment. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter if you're in treatment because you're legally required to be there, if you're there on your own. What matters is, what's your decision going to be when you get there? Are you going to take the opportunity to change your life and do something great, or are you not? And sometimes it takes us a few times, and that's okay. But what's important is that you don't give up.
That's right. Wow.
So that's my story.
What an amazing story. No, thank you so much for sharing that. That is phenomenal. I want to shift gears here quickly in the last minute or two and talk to you about the new things that are coming up here in terms of events.
Yes.
So we've got Michaela Heacock here to tell us about that.
Hello. Yes, I don't know how I'm going to follow up Jamie's story by just talking about our events,
It's a fact to follow.
Yes, it is. We are very much engaged in a lot of events around the community, including a lot of professional conferences throughout the year. And a first ever for us this year is on Saturday, April 18th. We are hosting a pickleball tournament fundraiser at Lucky Shots in Minneapolis. And we're just so excited for this event. We hope to knock it out of the park, honestly. And to sign up for that event as a player or even a spectator, more information about that will be found on our website, progressvalley.org, under news and events. We do have sponsorships available for that. And if you need more information regarding sponsorship levels, or just any information about our events, please email me at mheacock@progressvalley.org, or contact us through our website, www.progressvalley.org.
All right. And you've got a conference on May 1st, right?
We do. We are co-hosting our annual co-occurring conference with Expanse, Minnesota, and in partnership with Center for Practice Transformation on Friday, May 1st. This conference is for behavioral health professionals who need continuing education units, but we have some amazing presenters lined up, including our very own Amber Michalski and Shelley Baumert.
All right.
And more information, again, can be found on our website.
All right. We're going to have to let you go.
Yep.
Come back and tell us some more about that. Well, I want to thank all of you guys for being here on the show today. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Please contact us with any information or questions you'd like to have us talk about regarding today's conversation. You can reach us anytime by voice or text at 612-999-3426. Join us again next Saturday at noon for another broadcast. And thank you for listening to Living Healthy and Aging Well, where we talk about your health and your life. Until next time, choose to live well.
Rebuilding Together Minnesota delivers critical home repairs and safety modifications to low-income